What's up, my peeps? So it's me, the raw review master again. I'm just quickly in my dirty garage trying to make a few videos for you, just a quick few videos, because I could not find these things on YouTube at the moment. This is pretty much one of the newest ones that's only been launched here in Australia, I think the 18th of March. It's called the Rhino Rack Hardshell tent. I'm going to show you what it looks like. As you can see, it's a pretty dirty garage, but I'm going to do a quick unboxing for you on the Rhino Rack hardtop Rhino Rack. Yes, I've got a nice bike, I know that. It's just the Adventure number 390. It's very pretty small, but I want to show you what this tent is all about. So I'm going to flip you over to that side so that you can see. So this is the Rhino Rack Hardshell, people. It's only been launched in April or March in Australia, and this bad boy comes with the Zwift lock from Rhino Rack, which is going to be very interesting to see if it's going to fit on my front runner stuff. It's also off-road tough, which I would expect. It includes all your tools, because if you're like me, you don't always have it. Your skill level is DIY. That's pretty much me. And then it says you also get the mounting system. Now I'm looking forward to that. The reason, let me just flick this baby back over again. There we go. The reason I want to know if the Rhino Rack stuff is going to fit is because I have this bad boy standing here, my Gladiator. Now this bad boy is fixed with, look at it. It is fixed with the ECR roll track. It's also fixed with the slim line from front runner. Now, you know, like anyone else, a Rhino doesn't like to mate with a donkey. So the same thing normally goes for Rhino Rack. It does not want to go with a front runner. You know, it's just not the same species, if you know what I mean. So I'm going to try and see. Am I making you a little bit dizzy with moving around? I just actually want you to see my pretty Jeep there. Very nice, eh? So I'm going to quickly unbox this baby and I'll show you what's inside the box, because there's absolutely nothing on YouTube currently that actually tells us exactly what is in here and what it looks like and if it's going to fit my Glad. Okay, I am just trying to get the hang of this thing. I haven't done a raw review in a while. I forget constantly to actually look at the camera and not at myself on the screen, so that's why it's called a raw review. Anyway, I'm going to quickly show you this bad boy. I'm going to open it up. It's pretty wet in this garage because it was raining last night like a crazy horse, and because of that it's pretty wet in here. Somewhere it's leaking through the roof or the walls. I don't really care, but let me show you what's inside the box. Okay, people, I had to take a quick breather because it's pretty hard work just to get the box open. As you know me, I don't like to open up any boxes. Anyway, nice wrapping, pretty well wrapped. I mean, I'm pretty impressed with this baby as well. Look at it, all recyclable material, my kind of thing, you know. Pretty well packaged. As you can quickly see as I walk around here, it's called the Rhino Rack, not the donkey rack. Pretty nice plastic, nice hard cover. I'll show you once I've taken off all the plastics. As I always say, cut away from you, don't go towards you, away from you. Let me show you what this looks like. Okay, just a close-up. It's pretty hard, it's pretty nice as well. I like the, if you can see the fine imprints on it. And then it's also got the fixed rails at the top. You can load another 30 kgs on there. So electric bike. possibly solar panel, whatever you want to get on there. So I have just taken it out of the box. On this side you will see this is the back end. I'll walk across this way. It's got the nice logo saying Rhino rack. I do love this bad boy here. It's really pretty. Rhino, endangered species. And then on this side you get the clamps. Now I was just a bit afraid that I'm gonna damage this bit if I put it straight on the floor, you know, so it could bend. So I've just lifted it up with my helping little bag. Then they did say on the videos before that you get all these tools together. Now inside the big massive box you'll see the extra slats there that goes onto the back end, which I will show you now. And then on this one, this is the only two stuff that was inside. So you open up the whole freaking catch inside, and then you find these things in the shoebox. Hardware, brackets, that's it. And then you also have a bit of a patch, and you also have an instruction manual. Okay, now inside the box, like I said previously, you get these little patches if you have any holes in your tent. And you also get your instructional manual. Now I don't normally like it when they cut off trees to print all this stuff, because these days you can get them online. Having said that, today I'm changing my tune a little bit on the tent, because if I am in the wild and I can hear you know, the lions roar and rhinos coming at me, I might not have any reception. And then a handy printed manual could be pretty helpful. It's also got the warranty card here inside there. Anyway, I'm going to flip this baby over so that I can install the railings at the bottom. Now, just before I do that, one of the reasons I bought this tent is if you go and look at all the side open tents, all these ones that fit just on the small tubs like the Gladiator tub, most of the tents can only go sideways. Left or right, it opens sideways. I don't like that, because like I said before, with my Gladiator, I have, let me show you, it's a half rack. Okay, it's the half rack, so it doesn't go all the way to the roof height. So there's no way I can put an awning on this thing, you know, because if you're maybe a midget, you can fit under the awning. But if you're 6 foot like me, you're going to want a roof rack on top of this baby. And then you're going to put the awning on there as well. Okay, so I want to put a 180 awning on this side, 180 on the other side, so that it flips open. You can imagine, just think about it. It flips open like a wing of an eagle. And then it stops on this side, my one awning, and the other awning will then stop on this side. So I've got to cover that side. Ooh, excuse me for the spit there. On the other side. And then my tent open up rear-wise to the back, achter toe, you know. And that's what I want. Because then I can still access this bad boy. You know, I can still access that. I've got a bit of a roof over my head for the tent. And I've got my awnings on the side. Okay people, I'm back. I managed to flip this baby over. Now the first quick things after I've opened it up. One thing I'm not the massive fan of, but I'm sure that you can change this to a better clip, is these clamps are pretty flimsy. It's just according to me, because some of the other tents have those clamshell, you know, that. This one is just like little mini up and down. So that's it. There's a little button on the side there, you press it in, flip it up, make sure it's unlocked, and the same on the other side. And then just quickly, the other thing that's getting my fancy a little bit already is the tent's closed, but look at this. At the bottom, you can already, for some reason, see that the tent is sticking out on this side, you know, and I haven't actually opened up the whole thing yet. And the same for this side. If I walk around, it's on this side the same thing. So there's a bit of a gap at the bottom here that should not be there like that, but I'll fix it. I'll figure that out, and I'll get back to you to tell you if there is a major issue. Sorry for that. That was the wrong button. I was meant to press this one once, and there I am. Sorry, this Insta flow is still learning it as well. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do, let me flip you back over quickly. What I want to do is, because I've explained to you on my Gladiator, I want the tent slats to run like that under the tent, so that I can open up the tent facing the rear. So this is the entrance of the tent. So my slats will run front to back like that, front to back like that. You can also go sideways, but then it's going to be a left open or a right open tent. Mine, I want to open up to the rear. So you know what I mean? I hope that makes sense. I'm going to try it and I'll post some photos after. I'll see you later. Okay, my peeps, I have now opened up these two rails. So you get two of these rails and you get two little sponges that goes with it. And then inside each of these rails is also these little plastic covers that will clip onto the top again. So what they say is you need to do is measure out this baby and then stick each of these two little sponges on top of them. Now for some reason it's slightly longer than where the holes are, because there's two holes there. But if I line it up with these two holes on this side, it overhangs a bit on that side. Okay, so I'm sure that you can stick it and then possibly just cut the other one open so that both your holes are showing. Inside the hardware little box, I found these little squarey thingies, the handle, these little clips. I guess this is just to make a handle for now. I don't know what that is. We'll figure that out. You also get your Allen key, which is a hex. No, it's not a hex, it's a Torx driver. Torx. And you get this long little wrench. Now that's for the quick release clamps or brackets, which are all inside this box. There's 4 of them. They pretty much look like that. 4 of those and 4 of these. That clamps onto those ones. And I think that's about it. We'll figure it out now. Okay people, so for those ones that are as DIY capable as myself, you will see that there's 2 holes on these slats. On that side, 2 holes on this side. And then if you swap them over, that is how they're going to fit onto the bottom of your tent. Okay, now I've already stuck on the rubber on this one. So on the bottom side, there you will stick the rubber that comes with it. This little spongy thingy. It's pretty thick, but you'll see that I've opened up both of my 2 holes on this end. But if you then stick the whole thing in, there's only 1 hole left, so it's slightly longer, but it's about the configuration. So I'm just going to cut it so that I have both holes. The reason for me is I'm going to install mine, like I said, with the opening going to the back of my vehicle. So these slats needs to go from front to back, okay, which is perfect, because if I quickly show you my front runner, mine runs from left to right, all these slats. Okay, on the Pioneer platform from Rhino rack, it runs from front to back. Mine is from left to right, so it actually will work perfect, because now my slats are going to run like that, and on the other side like that, and then it's going to open up to the rear. Now if you ask like what I did, why are there actual 2 holes? If you install them front to back like what I am, the inside holes will line up with your little grooves on each side. Okay, if you decided to open your tent sideways like some of the pictures show, then the outside, let me just take this one as an example. Then you will need the outside holes to line up on both ends. Let me show you so that you don't think I'm lying to you. It lines up. So the outside holes. Okay peeps, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to quickly show you how to put the 3 piece of rubber on top of there. Now in the booklet, let me grab the booklet quickly. It's a bit of overkill when you look at this page, because it tells you measure the bar all the way, make a mark in the halfway, then measure your rubber. That doesn't make any sense because it's not really important. All that is important is keep the surface nice and clean, no dust on it. Now I'm going to line it up with my second hole because that's how I'm going to install it. Let me show you a quick trick on how to plug this thingy, how to stick it easily and perfectly so that you don't go over the sides, you know. So you just peel a little piece like that. Then you make sure that you line it up with your hole, and then you stick that first part. Okay, line this up, and then all you do is you keep peeling this slowly but surely, making sure that you stay nicely in the middle of your bar without going over the sides, you know. You don't want the freaking stickiness sitting on the bottom somewhere. It needs to be on the bar. So this way, if you go in little small increments, pieces, stickies, you can stick it properly. But take your time, people. I mean, really. If you make sure you do it correct the first place, then you're not going to struggle trying to fix your mistakes, you know. So you just keep doing that. Walk your fingers across like that. Make sure that it's perfectly on top. And then once you're on this end, don't scratch your freaking tent. It's brand new and it's pretty expensive. Okay, once that's all lined up, make sure that you rub it a bit, you know, rub it, so that you can activate the glue. Okay, once that is nice and tight, you'll see I've got my second hole open on this side. No hole, just this one on this side. I'm going to cut it slightly shorter to reveal the second hole. And if you ask me, how do you know where that second hole is? You can actually see it from the bottom, through this bit. Okay, so if I look through there, there's the hole. So I'm just going to mark it, stick something like a needle or nail through there, come out on the other side, and then I'm going to cut it. Pretty easy. Okay people, in Afrikaans they call it a boer maak 'n plan. It means the farmer makes a plan. I've got one of my wife's little needles in there through the second hole. Don't tell my wife that I stole one. It's coming out on this side, and then I know where the second hole is, and I'm just going to cut it on the outside. Easy peasy. Now as you can see, you get these M8 little channel nuts. It says M8 because it's an M8 screw. There's 4 of them with 4 fat M8 screws, but you also get 4, where is my picture? There we go. You get 4 M6s, and they've got 4 M6 screws as well. Don't cock these up when you put them in, people. Okay, the next step says you need 4 of these G's, and they are going to slide down these corner channels. Okay, those corner channels. The G's are the small ones, the M6s. So each of them, you'll slide it through the corner. Okay, and wherever depth you want it, you need 1 on each corner. I'm going to do that quickly. Okay, once you have all 4 of those G's down the tracks on each corner, there's my 3rd one. There's the 4th one. You can then take the bar. Okay, the soft side goes towards the tent, the surface of the tent. We line it up with these G's, okay, which will then include fitting into the second hole, okay, and then you put one of these M6s through there, and it's typical Rhino rack. One tool fits it all, so you can use your little spanner. Now if you are a little bit finicky like me, you think you might have to measure the distances and make sure that they all line up. They specifically say inside your trusty manual, loosely assemble them. So all you do is, now look, one thing they could have thought of is to make this thing self-retaining, because it's not, and it's not magnetic, so it falls off. So you're going to have to be very good at judging like where the hole is, and then if you're as lucky as me, you will do the first one wrong because it's flipped upside down. Now before you swear, because it did not work the first time, just take a bit of a breather and go for a second chance. Okay, and there we go. So we're going to loosely assemble this one. Loosely assemble it. And then I'll show you the other one now. Okay, that's loosely assembled. You can still slide it, but it's also pretty much sitting in there, so you can't lift it up. Still sliding. Same on both sides. Make sure it's loosely assembled. And then we'll see the configuration. Like I said, it's going front to back. Because my handle is this side, it's going to open in the rear. Okay, my peeps, I'm back. This is a bit of a, I don't know what word you would like to use here, but the Rhino rack does not mate well with the front runner. So I've bought myself the front runner quick release to install the tent. But for some reason, Rhino rack thought it's a great idea to have M6 screws and M8 screws. So front runner gives you the M8 screws. Most of the Rhino rack stuff only works with the M6s. And if you want to go through this freaking little bracket here, it tells you that, oh, this is a Rhino rack and this is the front runner 8Ms. They don't really hold on to anything here. You can see it just slides out, so it's bigger than what it means to be. And then these brackets were for something else, but I thought I can use them, but they also only the M6s, so the M8 screws does not fit them. Then I went, look at this, I then went and I bought the M8 Rhino rack fittings, but these mothers are so fat that by the time you have them underneath here and you put the screw in, it is almost too short to actually fit this. So you can see there, the nut doesn't even go all the way in because that little bastard is so fat, you know. This one fits well, so I'm thinking it could still work, but I need to tie it down obviously once I'm happy with my positioning. But it is a headache. And then Rhino rack, you can't get this stuff anywhere, even though Autobahn tells you it's available and Iron 4x4 tells you they don't have it. You need to order it. And I'm one of those, I need to have it today. So that did not work. I will get back to you. And then also, just quickly, these freaking instructions that comes with the front runner stuff is not the most clear. I mean, it tells you how to put the one on facing the front, but it does not tell you about number 2 and number 3 and number 4, and if they all have to face the same way. So it's a bit of a hassle, but anyway, I'll come back to it. Okay, people, so what I want to try and explain to you is you get front runners 35mm screws, which is an M8, and you get a 20mm one, so a short one and a long one. Okay, the heads of them does not fit the Rhino rack rails that comes with the Rhino rack tent. It falls out, so you need something to stop it. What front runner does not tell us, is that the actual thingies that needs to go underneath does not come with it. So I went and I bought the Rhino rack version, the M8, because it fits M8 screws for front runner. Rhino rack M6. So these needs to go down the little channel here. Let me show you. I'll just show you that. Goes down the channel here. And that's where your screws will go in. So that will hold your screw. Okay. Okay. So, on the long one, you have to put one of these bad boys all the way through so that you can prevent it from falling out of these Rhino rack channels, you know. But for some reason, the Rhino rack gives you the M8 screws, M6 screws, which is a bit flimsier obviously than the M8 screws. But they give you these chunky, freaking chunky bits, which takes a lot of your height of your screw obviously. So what I want to try and show to you now is, now I've made two long ones. It needs to be a long and a short one. So there's one long one. I'm going to quickly, I'll edit all this waste of time out. But you need to flick it in there, you know. Just twist like a little chopper pilot. Slide one in. Don't even start with this one. You're going to tighten it and then you realize, oh crap, it does not go correctly. Okay. You take your little slat, or whatever they call it. Put it on top. Then you put your female little, or male, I don't know which one is which. That one goes at the bottom. The other one goes at the top of it. Okay, now the shoot screw is a bit short, so you have to wiggle your finger down from below to push the screw up, because obviously you've got some space there. You chuck a little nut on there that comes with your front runner quick release, and just finger tighten it so that it doesn't fall out, but then you can still slide it up and down the channels. You take your short one, you put it underneath through your channel. Again, push with your finger from below. Now this one is touch and go a little bit, almost too short, but you can just manage the nut perfectly on it, so it'll work, mate. It'll work. And then once that's in, I haven't tightened anything. You can slide it up and down to find your position. Now I'm going to do all four corners and I'll show you the final product. Okay, my fellow followers. So I'm finally to this stage where I try to measure, you know, like a mathematician. Try to measure these ones like a spot on. Now I know it's not going to work because I did not get proper A's for maths in school, but I think I'm pretty close. So I try to make sure that it's about equal size from the side of my front runner slimline platform, and I've tightened these bastards up all the way. Now this is how it works. So this obviously will slide down the channels of my tent, and then I need to tighten them. Now this little thingy-majinks, if I can do it with one hand, I'll show you how it works. So that's what it looks like. That goes into the tent's rails, and this little female and male will slide down this little channel. So on the tent it slides down in theory nicely in there, and then you can flick this little clamp over there. Whoops, you see if I'm left-handed because I'm holding the thing with my right hand. Here we go. So you clip that over there and then you tighten it, so it's pretty going to be super stable and easy to remove. Because once you want to remove it, you just flick this little sucker forward, pull on your latch, and then unhook it at the front, and there you go. Off is your tent. So you've got it removed. Now that's the easy part. The difficult part is to get the sucker lifted on top, and then also to make sure that when you measure these channels at the top here, can you see them? Yeah, there we go. That will slide down these channels, and then you need to measure where they need to be tightened. Now they say finger tightened, but I think once this thing is on top, to lift it on top, it's going to be pretty difficult to freaking finger tighten them. But anyway, I will show you once I get to that point. So to sum up what I just said in my previous video, whichever direction you want to slide your tent in and out of, in to lock it, out when you are done, this needs to face from the angle from where you are sliding it, okay, so that it can stop it on that stopper over here. So slide in from that side. My tent is going to slide from the rear of my vehicle towards the back window of my truck. Okay peeps, it's me again. So I had my trusty wife coming to check on me, and I thought I'm ready, and I explained to her exactly, we need to think about this upside down, because this is going to fit to my rack and that fits to the tent. This is the front of my tent, so this whole tent is going to flip over like that. Okay, what none of these instructions tell you is I am going to fix the tent so that I can open the tent up to the rear of my vehicle. Not like all the iCampers and all the bush bucks and whatever else you get that you can mount going open sideways or open that side. This one is going to open this way. And for that reason, I need to flip this over. That needs to go on the other end. Even though the pictures doesn't show it like that, that needs to go on the other end. My reason is that's going to be the back of my tent. Okay, if I want to slide this tent in and out from the rear to the front of my vehicle, it's going to slide that way. I cannot slide it in with this thing facing that way. As you can see, it's going to be in the way. This needs to be like that so that I can slide it from the rear, not from the front. Otherwise, I'm only going to have a little wee space between the back of my tent and the window of my truck, so I won't be able to slide it in and out. So yes, luckily I asked the wifey and she explained it very well and clear. So keep that in mind, people. This ain't the normal DIY product. You need to think ahead. Like chess, where you play 8 steps ahead, this is even more so. You have to be like 13 to 14 steps ahead. Okay, chess ain't gonna help you here. Tetris, a little bit, but other than that, this is why you take engineering at school, so that your head can flip stuff over the picture in your head, you know. Okay. Okay, so I've fitted this one, and for the youngsters out there, I think it's worth sliding this one in there to see that it's going to fit on this side, because you need to keep your head. You're going to flip this tent over when you attach it to your rack. Same on this side. This one worked perfectly nice, and then I made the error of putting the male and female one on the wrong side, and then when I tested it, so before I attach it, I realized, but now the screw is in the way, I can't slide it in, which means this needs to go on that side, and this bolt actually needed to go there. So it pays to actually try it before you attach it and stand there with a 63 kilogram tent in your hand and your wife swearing at you because it's not actually sliding in, and then only you realize you've got it upside down. So this side needs to be on the other side. Rightio. So I've got this one facing that way, this one facing the same way, and on this side you've got the other one facing the same way, and that one facing the same way. This is the front of my tent. Okay, so it is interesting how it works from here. I'll try and show you on another little small video clip. One thing that I don't like is this bit, because it keeps sticking out even if you close it. If you go underneath, you'll see if I can zoom out slightly. It just sits on the outside. I don't exactly know what that is. Maybe it's just me being new with it, but both sides does the exact same thing. You see that it sticks out a bit.